Thank you very much for having me here. 35 years ago today, I was a 9-year-old kid sitting in almost an empty theatre. I can still remember the musty smell, the threadbare seats in those theatres. I didn't want to be there. I would have much preferred to spend time playing football with my friends. But at the time, my mother was a producer of musicals. So I would spend many, many days looking at things like this: stage sets, lighting design, theatrical design. And eventually I would see the show itself. I didn't realize it at the time, but it awoke something inside me, a deep passion and obsession with everything experiential and immersive. Make no mistake about it today, guys. We are living in the age of experience. Pine and Gilmore call it the experience economy. We are living in a society now that holds experiences higher than anything else. We prefer to spend money on experiences more than anything else. We're done with things, but we crave experiences. Over 75 to 80% of people will prioritize experiences over buying things. So that shows you where we are. As a result, experiences are becoming more and more sophisticated. This is a really nice example from Disney, one of the leaders in immersive storytelling. This is a new hotel that they're developing called the Galaxy Star Cruiser. And it'll mean a 2-day itinerary traveling through the stars and those guests having really immersive experiences. So in this world of experience, how does the world of work stack up? Unfortunately, not very well. If we think about it, we're spending more and more and more money on things like employee experience, employee engagement. Some figures show annual spend of about $100 billion every year for improving employee experience. But in the meantime, engagement is down. Approximately 13 to 15% of employees are truly engaged in the workplace. So we now have an experiential society, and we have a group of people not massively engaged in their work. What's going on? Fundamentally, I believe the age of experience has come to the workplace. It's not enough anymore for us to think about a really good company, and Oracle are obviously one of those. It's not enough to think about us having a very fulfilling career. We're also starting to think about memorable experiences at work. We're thinking about what else, okay? And what's happening is that people that do not want to work in organizations that aren't experiential enough for them are simply leaving. By 2035, estimates tell us that 40 to 60% of the workforce will be freelancers. Why? Freedom. Freedom to experiment. Freedom to create new work experiences for themselves. So this is happening. I fundamentally believe that we need a new analogy for how we think about the workplace. I think we need to think about the workplace as a work park. This is a picture of Efteling, one of my favorite theme parks. What's really important about theme parks is the set of characteristics that tie theme parks together. So when we talk about designing the work park of the future, we need to use the analogy of a theme park. And I'm going to speak a little bit about some of the criteria or principles or elements that I've seen from theme parks that we need to bring kicking and screaming into our work park of the future. The first one is we need to really, really think about our organization as a destination. What does that mean? Let's cut through the crap. It means creating really unique experiences for people that can't be had anywhere else. That's what a destination is. It's not good enough to be good enough, okay? We need to really, really think about creating our organization and our work park as a destination that people want to spend time in. The second element, very much linked to the concept of a destination, is this idea of theming. So if we look at a restaurant like the Fat Duck, which is run by the famous Michelin star chef Heston Blumenthal, the theme there is very much about recapturing childhood memories. In many organizations that I see, there are no themes. There are values, there's missions, there's all kind of stuff going around there. We aren't holding ourselves really close to any themes. So what if as a company or as a workforce or as a work park, we would start really, really, really thinking about those themes. And one of our themes might be developing the whole person. Imagine an organization that you work in that is about developing the whole person. That's a theme. It's not a value or behavior or any of this kind of stuff. It's a real theme, a human theme that aligns, that excites, and moves us forward. The third piece is, let's stop talking about employee journeys. Have we all done those maps? All this kind of stuff, and you're kind of going, okay, where am I going in my career here? Let's talk about lands. Let's talk about, like theme park designers, let's design lands within our organization. Instead of developing leadership development programs, let's develop the leadership land. And let's think about what kind of attractions we would put in there, what kind of immersive experiences we would put in there that people would really want to engage with. That's what we mean by land. So let's move away from this old language. The other piece we need to think about is thinking about the human beings in our organization, first and foremost as humans, of course, but secondly as an audience, as guests, as patrons, as spectators. So that would enable us to speak the right messages to the right people, to enable people like yourselves to participate in the right way in an organization. We need to move away from this concept that we are an organization who own our employees. Wrong. We have a set of guests or an audience that have decided to spend time with us. So let us make sure that that time is extremely well spent. The final piece for me is immersion. I hear a lot about engagement, and I hear about a lot of engagement programs, and frankly, I'm kind of engagement out at this stage. I'm sure some of you are as well. I prefer if we talked about immersion. How do we apply things like play, deep experimentation, theatrical experiences to really, really, really immerse our people in our organization and the world around us? I have a fundamental belief that the new IQ of the experiential Workpark will be IQ, immersion quotient, not intellectual quotient. I'm going to leave you with the last, most important slide. For those of you who can see, it's blank. I would like you to tap into your 9-year-old self. I would like you to dream and draw in your head the work park of the future. Don't be afraid to draw outside the lines. It's the people who draw outside the lines that create the future. And most importantly, dream big. Thank you very much.